Class 86/2 Loco add-on coming soon. Tap into classic British AC traction with BR Class 86/2 services on the West Coast Main Line. Just Train's latest add-on is coming soon. The story so far. We've already talked a little bit about Just Train's first Train Sim World Loco add-on as have they in their development blog entries. This includes 1. Reveal in week 1 of our 2024 season of reveals. 2. An update on developing the Locomotive in the January 2025 roadmap. 3. An update on the coaches included in the February 2025 roadmap. 4. A look at the coach interiors in the March 2025 roadmap. Rolling stock. BR Class 86/2. The Class 86 brings additional challenges to the stunning WCML Preston Carlisle route, as well as all new variety in the form of British Rail's MK2F coaches. The Class 86 entered service in the mid-1960s after years of testing different designs to run on the newly electrified West Coast Main Line. Known originally as the AL6, it would become the first mass-produced AC Loco for the new fleet with 100 examples built. Over time, a revision to the suspension was undertaken to solve issues of rough riding and track wear. These changes resulted in what became known as the Class 86/2 subclass. Being the precursor to the Class 87, the Class 86/2, with less horsepower, was capable of 100 mph, which makes for a more challenging driving experience. Other differences from the 87 include the plated overhead box and the distinctive triple windscreen. In more recent years, both the Class 87 and Class 86 have seen some international service in Europe, predominantly in Bulgaria, where some are still used on freight trains under various operators. Operating the Class 86 in-game will be a challenge for new and existing players on WCML Preston, Carlisle. The Locomotive works in a similar way to the Class 87, with tap changer controls that require a degree of planning to manage speed limits, stops, and gradients. Unlike the Class 87, however, the Class 86 has less power. As a result, poor timing with the power before the climb up to shaft can result in time loss, as the train builds speed slower than expected. The Class 86 has a fully accessible engine room. This is where the DSD isolation is located and a detailed, weathered cab. It also comes in two liveries, ER Blue and Intercity Executive, with specific details implemented on individual locomotives, such as those on City of Coventry detailed in the March roadmap. Included are several external variations of the 86/2 which feature changes such two different types of pantographs, RCH cables, centrally mounted high-intensity headlight, and a single rally light uniquely fitted to 86,225. The eagle-eyed amongst you will remember this light from the first ever teaser image for the 86/2. Amongst the numerous liveries included is locomotive number 86,233, named Lawrence Olive, is unique in the 86 fleet for having a white cab roof at both ends during the mid-1980. This distinctive marking was applied to commemorate the 21st anniversary of the creation of Intercity. MK2F coaches and MK1 RMB. Also included in the pack are MK2F coaches in BSO, TSO, and FO variants. The air-conditioned MK2s were the mainstay of many long-distance passenger trains after their introduction in the 1970s, and have seen use ever since in both service, engineering, and railcar duties. The feature coach of the Class 86/2 is the much-requested BR MK1 RMB Buffet car. RMB standing for Restaurant Miniature Buffet. The RMB is basically a British Railways MK1 TSO tour standard open coach where the center vestibule seating area has been replaced with a buffet counter, a small seating area along with standing space and store cupboard. Either side of this is the normal full seating areas. The RMBs were built between 1957 and 1962. There are still quite a few in service on heritage railways across the UK. The RMB features the Intercity Executive and BR Blue-Gray liveries. When you enter the RMB, make your way to the buffet area where behind the operating roller shutter you will see a fully stocked area with a great variety of top-quality curly sandwiches, fresh yesterday pork pies in two sizes, bags of crisps, bottles of soft drinks with flavors such as apple, orange, and berry. If you have a sweet tooth, you can choose between various chocolate bars and even mint cake. If you fancy a biscuit, we even have those. If you want to be exotic, there is even Turkish delight. All these are ready for your delectation served to you by the friendly and helpful steward. Timetable services and additional gameplay. Both the Class 86 and MK2 coaches will substitute into the current WCML, Preston, Carlisle timetable in place of some Class 87 hauled services. The timetable for WCML, Preston, Carlisle has Class 87 services running cross-country trains across the route. These services will be substituted by Class 86 locomotives as would have been the case during the period. As the Class 86/2 was not a common feature on freight services, these will all continue to be Class 87 hauled. 5 new scenarios will also be available to play on the route, ranging from a football special out of the map to Wembley to represent England playing against Scotland during April 1986. Others, including a delayed service, require some rerouting, and the southbound express bound for London requires some assistance. Can you take on the challenge? Players keen on making use of the MK1 RMB will be able to do so in Formation Designer, along with the MK2F coaches, and the Class 86 with these coaches can be spawned in free roam. Train Sim World 5, Class 86/2 and MK2F coaches is releasing soon for Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Epic Games Store, and Steam for £19.99 slash euros 24.99 slash $24.99. You can learn more in Just Train's development blog entries. West Coast Main Line, Preston, Carlisle. Just Train's latest route for Train Sim World is the longest UK route ever developed. Thrash both the electric Class 87 and diesel Class 47 upchat summit across almost 100 miles of northwest tracks between Preston and Carlisle. Class 101 DMU and Class 08 shunting services are also included, with layered services and AI featuring for players with Just Train's other route add-on, Blackpool branches, and other Train Sim World add-ons like Flying Scotsman and Northern Transpennine. Scene players can get a 10% discount on WCML Preston Carlisle in the final day of the May Madness sale. Xbox players with Game Pass Ultimate can also get 10% off selected add-ons. Additional Class 87 liveries. Players with WCML, Preston, Carlisle also received some additional liveries as part of a recent patch update. You can read the full details for this route and others in the patch notes. The additional liveries include 2 variations of the existing Intercity Executive, one with red buffers and one which is heavily weathered, as well as another 2 variations with an extended yellow panel at the front with black and red buffers, and finally one variation with a fully yellow front with black numbers and decals. The Class 86 local add-on is not required in order to receive these additional Class 87 liveries.